on? Are they real debates or are they fake debates?
Well, I mean, if you listen to Trump, he always called CNN fake news, and so you would assume that would mean that this is a fake debate. But no, it is actually a real debate hosted by CNN on June 27th, I believe it is. Yes. So are we excited? How are we feeling about this?
Yeah, hold real quick though. Devil's in the details. Biden, in addition to sending his real tough guy, non-weak and gay message on Twitter challenging Trump to a debate, he sent a letter to CNN saying, yeah, I'll do a debate, but here are the conditions. No live audience.
That's
like
ridiculous.
Sit down. No RFK Jr.
Oh, that was on that was one of the contingencies, huh? Wow.
They didn't say it explicitly, but those are the two big ones that I noticed. He had some other demands in there, but those were the two that I noticed.
I mean, a lot of people get kind of annoyed with the audiences in presidential debates.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily I think I disagree. I kind of like that the audience is there. Lets the candidates sort of play off the crowd a little bit. I know Trump's really good at that. A little crowd work, as the stand-up comedians call it.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's probably why he doesn't want that there, because he knows that Trump does very good when it comes to working with the crowd, and Biden does not. And I think Biden needs to have a very, closely monitored environment. It needs to be optimal conditions for him to breathe. It's kind of like the State of the Union. And it needs to be these optimal conditions for him to present well. And I think having an audience, seeing him in full flesh, probably would not end up well for him.
Yeah, he's trying to control the environment for sure because he's 100 and they need to figure out what correct mix of cocktail he needs to be on that night, so that is dependent upon if there's a crowd or not a crowd. As far as the debate goes, am I excited? Meh, not particularly. I don't know. I don't think it's going to change a single person's mind. First, second, we've already heard them spar over everything. What new are they going to bring to the table? And third, I would be interested if RFK was involved, but I don't see. I would see if RFK qualifies, which they've kind of laid out what the qualifications would be. If he actually qualifies, I bet you one or both jump ship, or they find some other technicality to exclude him.
I don't know if my internet connection is messed up because it's y'all keep freezing and keep going. I don't know if y'all are experiencing the same thing. Hopefully, it's not recording that way. I don't know when to talk.
That was good.
So, I mean, what?
Nothing. Go ahead. No wonder you're so delayed. It's your internet connection. Go ahead.
I'm gonna fix my internet connection. I will be back. Is that okay with y'all? Can y'all continue the show without me for 5 minutes?
I hope so.
I think that y'all can. I'll be back.
Jeez, right. That delay is something else. Gosh, goodness.
Wow.
So to lay out the qualifications, CNN is saying that to be eligible, they must appear on a sufficient number of state ballots to be able to reach 270 electoral votes, the threshold to win. And they need to poll in they need to agree to the rules and format and receive at least 15% in 4 separate national polls. And I saw some reporting saying that RFK has received 15% in 3. So if he gets another by June 20th, which I think is the cutoff for them to be able to have all of that done, he would make it. Now, does CNN then change the rules? Do they just explicitly prohibit him? Do the candidates walk? I can't imagine that they would. How does that look if you're this man who has met all the qualifications is joining, so we're not going to? The sitting president and the former president, I think that'd be a little pathetic.
I think they concoct a reason. Think about what's the benefit to them to debate with RFK on the stage?
Well, I think now I think they need to all be concerned about how RFK is now on the Texas ballot. He's on a number of states' ballots. They have to be genuinely concerned about how many votes he can pull from either of them. And I think they need an opportunity to show people who are typically their base, who may be, being courted by RFK's campaign, why they need to stay in their camp. I think it probably would be beneficial, if not for them directly, for the down ballot candidates that voting for RFK would hurt in both of those parties.
I just see upside for RFK. I don't see a lot of downside for him because he's a better debater than both of them. He's 10 years younger. People don't know who he is, and he's just going to trash both their records, which are easily trashable.
Well, Chuck Todd says RFK Jr.'s vocal ailment would make Biden look good by comparison. It's a crazy thing to say, but he said it.
Yeah. I mean, he's hard to listen to, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here's a quote. It says, if you ever spent a lot of time watching Robert Kennedy Jr. speak, I think if you were Joe Biden, you were going to want him on the debate stage. That's interesting. I don't know. I mean, if he's specifically talking about the ailment or like some of RFK's opinions, because some of his opinions would be offensive to both sides at different points. And so I mean, I would hope that we're not going to judge a candidate purely based on his vocal ailment, although I will say, yes, it's quite noticeable. You can't kind of get around that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Couple questions. One, are you going to watch it? And then two, should we do a live show with drinks?
If there, my answer to should we do a live show is contingent upon if there are drinks or not. If there are drinks, then yes. If there are not drinks, then no. And I think my answer, right, if I'm going to watch it, is contingent upon that as well. So I probably will not watch it if we're not doing something like that. Because I mean, well, okay, two things: if we're not doing something like that, or if RFK is not on. If RFK is not on, there's really no point. Like I know what they're all going to say. You can guess. They're not going to say anything new that you haven't heard before. So there would be really no reason to watch it. Oh, dang. Now that I'm looking at my calendar, I think I will be in I can watch it from Alabama. Hey, Brad.
Where are you going to be in Alabama?
Going to see my grandma in June. Big family convening.
Your mom's mom?
Yes.
Well, I'm okay. That's great. That's really. I bet she's just as awesome as your mom.
Yeah, she is.
We were just talking about whether or not we're gonna watch the debate or second do a live show with drinks involved.
Oh my God! Yeah, let's do that. Come on, guys. Why wouldn't we do that?
No, we will. I think because he's going to be in Alabama.
Oh, come on. You can drink with your grandma.
I can.
I'm excited to watch the debates. Why wouldn't y'all be? I mean, it's not like, you're right, Michael. It's not going to change anyone's mind. Well, it might change some people that would otherwise, like if one of them fails miserably, it might push people over to RFK.
Well, my opinion is it's only going to change people's minds if RFK is on the stage. If it's just Biden and Trump, nobody's mind's being changed, in my opinion. Unless it's going to be changed from, I'm not voting for either of these guys. But I don't think anyone's going to be swayed one camp or the other if it's just the two of them on the stage.
So what do we do about this as a nation? You know, where Joe Biden, the paragon of democracy, the defender of democracy, the embodiment of democracy, is trying to prevent a third-party candidate from speaking to the American people that has a lot of support. He's not like Michael Searle signed up to, run for president and, now he wants to be on the debate stage. RFK has a real following. What do? Do we have a separate independent debate, a black market debate where RFK invites, I don't know, Trump or Biden, and they just do, Biden wouldn't do it, but they just do like a one-on-one? What happens?
I think that's inevitable. I think, eventually that's going to happen. It might be already being talked about as we speak between Trump and RFK. But to be fair, it's not just Biden who's trying to keep RFK off the stage. It is also Trump who's trying to keep RFK off the stage.
There's going to be a lot of pissed off people at you. Trump is he's a fearless leader, and he would never do something like that. He would never. Why are you? Are you some sort of libtard cuck soy boy?
No, because the only person that has to, yes, I am. The only person that has something to gain is RFK. The other candidates they're just going to lose by having RFK on the stage.
Well, why would they? I mean, that's not necessarily true. If they beat RFK, and I guess it sounds like you don't think that they can beat him, but if they beat him, then it strengthens their resolve. It strengthens their base. It might sway some people over. No?
The only benefit that could possibly be won by either of the candidates is by making him look either crazy right wing or making him look crazy left wing. Other than that, the two of them have 4-year records that he's going to just trash on, and they can't really be like, oh no, my record's actually pretty good. How's that inflation?
I think that you're sure, but I think that you're maybe putting your mind in the general public's mind. And I don't think people, especially Trump support, I think a lot of people think that things were great under Trump minus COVID. And I think a lot of people maybe kind of forget that COVID happened under Trump and the things that he did. And the fact that he also helped shut down the country and kept Anthony Fauci in power, and he'd Operation Warp Speed, and the wall was never built, and Mexico didn't pay for it, and all, she was never locked up, and all sorts of things. I think people forget about that stuff. So, I mean, RFK can try to go after his record, but I don't know that would really work all that well. But I don't know how you also make RFK seem extreme right wing. That sounds impossible.
I mean, the vaccine stuff, huh?
How is that right wing?
What party does that associate with? I mean, do I think
anti-vax has long been left wing.
I'm not saying it as a derogatory thing, but today the anti-vax movement is predominantly on the right. Yeah, you have like those crunchy moms and stuff on the left who don't support vaccines and stuff for their kids. But today it's
Why are you so rude?
I mean, they call themselves crunchy moms.
I've never heard a crunchy mom call herself crunchy mom. I don't know what you got against moms. All right.
Vaccines, going after Anthony Fauci, censorship, the Twitter files, being called up to testify in front of the Republican House Committee on weaponization or whatever. There's a number of ways that you can try to position him as being cozy with the right wing, for sure. And
I mean,
they're going to try.
I think the only right. I mean, anti-vaccine it infiltrated the right for sure, but I think it's mostly the COVID vaccine. But I still think anti-vax has long been a left-wing position. But whatever. I think that would be a tall order for Joe Biden of all people to paint RFK Jr. as extreme right. Maybe, I don't know.
I think the point is that they're both going to be painting him as he's going to be painting him as extreme right. Trump is going to be painting him as extreme left.
Damn.
Extreme left, or even not even extreme, but just right and left, and then he's going to be in the middle with these positions that accompany both sides, looking like he is looking to some, especially the partisan folks, as if he is kind of a flip-flopper on these issues. Now, to your point about anti-vax, sure, you definitely find dozens of, Upper West Side progressive moms in New York City who don't vaccinate their kids. Yes, very true. But in at least the past 10 to 15 years, it has been a dominant movement on the conservative right.
Okay. Sure.
Agreed.
My sister was actually, I think it was she was featured in the New York Times, so her picture was in the New York Times, I think, because she helped RFK Jr. get signatures.
Get out of here.
Texas. I mean, it's just a pic. I mean, get out of here. You've been on Candace Owens' show. Charlie Kirk.
I haven't been in the New York Times.
Huh?
I haven't been in the New York Times.
Well, it's because you're not crunchy enough.
RFK, I mean, his signature collection effort was significant, twice the amount of signatures necessary, because he knew that they would try to kick him off the ballot here. And that's 250,000 people who chose not to vote in the primary, because you can't have voted in the primary and signed his petition. So there are a lot of frustrated people and frustrated with both parties out there, clearly.
It's true.
There she is, right there. It's my sister. And why having Kennedy on the ballot in Texas may worry Ted Cruz.
Wow, she's the main picture? That's crazy.
Main picture, that's her right there.
Her name's Kennedy?
Yeah, her name is Kennedy.
Oh.
Yep. My sister's name is Kennedy.
Never mind. I'm sorry.
Have you heard of, have you been in this conversation for the past 20 minutes?
I read the shirt, and for whatever reason, the shirt made me think it was a name tag. And then whatever, moving on.
Okay. That's interesting. Interesting way to go about it.